we're at a time where, as we enter the second 100 years of the car, where everything that we thought about for a vehicle and the way vehicles work for people and the way vehicles work with cities is about to change dramatically. Enabled by technology, but also by sort of society's drivers. Crowding, congestion, productivity needs, etc. It's an exciting time to think about how cities have been built around transportation for hundreds, thousands of years. And if now we can really rethink how transportation works, it'll cause cities and city life and society and even our fundamental economics to really change. So this is an amazing time to over the next decade, and it's that quick, really think about and implement all these changes that are going to transform society. Well, I recently read this book by Steve Johnson, How We Got to Now, and it's a fun, quick read, but for anybody that's doing any kind of strategic planning or long-term planning or futurist type work, and I would put venture capitalists in that boat, he makes the case that in very important ways, what the initial sort of direct and logical extensions of a technology are only the beginning. That the impact of new technologies are almost unanticipatable and vast. And he draws amazing examples like, the invention of the printing press didn't just disseminate more information, but it actually caused the invention of eyeglasses, because then people needed to read. Once there were eyeglasses and people put lenses together and they discovered microscopy and telescopes and space and microbiology, and everything grew out of that in sort of these indirect ways. I'm now looking at sort of pushing him to write another chapter almost about how the autonomous car is gonna, and the whole smart car evolution, electric car, connected car, autonomous car evolution is gonna really change everything, in that it's not just, okay, now people don't have to drive their car so much, it changes everything. The example I had the other day was a friend of mine who lives in San Francisco told me he sold his car, and they always ask me what car to buy, because I'm a car guy, and he said, I'm not replacing it. I'm using Uber during the week, and I'm using relay rides on the weekend, and I'm not buying another car. Well, that's interesting. And then his wife chimed in and said, and we're converting the garage to a student apartment and renting it out on Airbnb. And there's tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of garages in cities that can be converted to affordable housing, student housing, whatever, and sort of densification of cities. If you can get rid of all the parking infrastructure, sort of is a whole massive desire for people who are doing urban planning and trying to improve life in cities. So it's kind of fun to just step back and think about, if you change the insurance world, if you change the delivery world, if you change everything about mobility, transportation, freight, and all the ecosystem, what changes? I get, because I work for BMW part-time, and I have my own views and they have their views, and it's all about a crystal ball that we don't know. I think I'll say I believe it'll happen within 10 years, that we'll have these as possible, whether the regulatory environment, the political machinery is ready to deal. I think technology is going to go faster than government and society. That'll be the holdup, but there'll be places where it more and more gains acceptance, and it will. I think the good thing is if companies are trying to push it, it won't work, and if governments are trying to push it, it won't work. But if consumers are pulling it, it will work, and that's why this will work in that kind of time frame, I think.